My first running experience was in Hawaii. Kelly had signed up there when we were on a holiday to do a 5K. And she's my inspiration, by the way. So I started running with her, and after we had done the first loop, I thought, well, you know, I'll stop now. And I wish I'd kept on. That would have been my first K, but it was my first 2.5K. And after that, I started running in Ottawa, the 5K, and then the 10K, then the half marathon, and that's it, you know. I've been doing that since the age of 70. I'm 82 now. God. I have a friend, I call him my coach actually, who said, well, Helen, if you can do 5K, you can do 10. You know, and then the next time it was, well, you can do a half marathon. And then he said, well, then you can do a marathon. So I've done 4 of those, but I think my marathon days are very, very much over. But half, I'm still game to try. Yeah, I think I've done about 70 races and all. It might be a little bit more because for about 10 years we were doing at least 2, if not 3 half marathons. The Army Run, the Florida Run, because we go to Florida for American Thanksgiving, and coincidentally, the Space Coast Marathon and half marathon is on the Sunday after American Thanksgiving, so we were there and we took advantage of the opportunity. Plus they give super medals, all about, yeah, and you meet an astronaut. The one that stands out the most really is the Paris Marathon, because if you're going to visit a city and you don't want to be in the traffic or behind buses or anything, run a marathon. You've got the place all to yourself, and you're going by the Eiffel Tower, and you're going through Champs-Élysées. You're seeing Paris like you're on your own. It's really beautiful. And I have heard that I'm an inspiration to others. When we were running Paris, it was so funny because they're all looking at me and they're saying, "Oh, madame," you know, and I should have done a facelift. But anyway, we had this prince, we were running in Paris, and this African prince, all in his beautiful, beautiful colored garbs. And doesn't he put his hand out and start running like about, 20 steps with me, sort of thing. So, there were so many wonderful things. And I did get the best compliment ever from Kathrine Switzer. She was the first woman to run the Boston Marathon, and she signed in as Kay Switzer. And my friend Louis saw her give a talk at one of the races he was doing. This was before I even started running. I guess I had just started. And he had her sign, "Helen, you are an inspiration to me, starting to run at 70. And she signed it. And then years later, that's why I'm wearing this one, because she started a charity. And this was the Niagara Run. Was one sponsored by her, and the money that goes to training like poor countries, girls in poor countries to run, as a sense of freedom, sort of. And Kathrine Switzer, I brought that book to her when I ran Niagara, and I said, "Look, you signed this." And she added another thing and said, "You are my inspiration. I decided to run a marathon 50 years after I ran my first Boston Marathon." And she did it when she was 70. So that was kind of a compliment, I always try and get, people to donate to a specific charity, like the support for military families in the Canadian Army Run is one. And I have done a lot of runs like for Care For, which is, a home care service. And I've done, this one is for the Pearly Rita, where I volunteer. And yeah, I've done, most races I have had a recommendation, like if you're going to make a donation, do it to this charity. And people get a tax receipt, so we all benefit, So it is very important to be active, especially as a senior. And I've kind of worked as a volunteer with seniors for on and off and in many positions. And I find that even doing chair exercises for them, and especially to music, and they feel better and they look forward to it. And it's you got to stay mobile. You have to stay mobile, and even if you have to use a cane or walking sticks, do it. It's worth it, and it gives you a sense of independence. If you can do things for yourself for as long as you can, that's a blessing. Yeah.